What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are about to strap this thing down to the dyno to get this thing tuned. We are here at 412 Dyno Shop in Parsons, Tennessee. And guys, one thing I want to point out, this is a Mustang dyno, so if you're expecting dyno jet numbers, you're not going to get them. But this is a tuning tool, like me and Daryl was talking about. This is a tuning tool. Dynos are all tuning tools. You can get the happy dynos, you can get the sad dynos, but the one thing that's not going to change is your track speed at the track, and that's where the true horsepower shows itself. So guys, we're about to get this thing. If you remember on the last video, I had to put in the 56-pound injectors at the shop. It just saves a lot of time coming to the dyno. We don't have to change them out here. But what we did was we pulled the stock Roush tune out, and he is going to change the injector size in the tune only. Put it back in so we can run it on the dyno and get horsepower numbers with the Roush tune in it, and then we are going to put the custom tune in it and crank it up and see what we can get this thing doing. So guys, stay tuned. Alright guys, one important thing when you're about to dyno the car, there are two ways to disable the ABS because you do not want it on while dynoing the car. And one of the ways is to unplug this plug right here. It's sitting right here by your air box. Or you can take out fuse 62 in the fuse box, but this is just a whole lot easier. Just reach up, unplug it, all is well. So it's just one thing you need to remember when you're dynoing the car, but most dyno operators will know this, so it shouldn't be an issue. What it do?
Oh, we'll see in a second. You want to guess numbers? I already saw them. Damn.
So guys, 595 horsepower, 506 torque.
That's not corrected.
That's not corrected.
Yeah.
So what is it corrected?
One below it.
So corrected, it is 611 horsepower, 520 torque, only Roush tune. Now, one thing about this, guys, this is a Mustang dyno, and it has a weather station right here. These are SAE correction factors. This is the Roush tune. Only thing changed in the tune is the injector data for the 56-pound injectors. So this is what we got, guys. This is, if you have a Roush automatic car, this is pretty much what you're putting down. Now, I do have the Corsa Extreme 3-inch catback. And I do have a BMP heat exchanger. So I was talking with Daryl just to double check. The injector data changing did nothing for the tune, for the horsepower, extra horsepower, or anything like that.
Yeah, nothing, no increase. Just all it did is corrected the fueling calculations because the other injectors are pretty much at their limits already. So we took the Roush tune, just put the new Ford injector data in, and flashed it right back in, and this is what it made with the injector change only.
All right. Alright guys, so with the second pull, we went up to 630 horsepower, SAE correction, 614. So we picked up a decent amount of horsepower. This is the first tune. He is going to fine tune it in, so we will pick up more. But the 579 torque, that is not correct. And there's something that happens on dynos at times. They actually when he hit the car, went wide open throttle, it was after the dyno starts recording. They usually like to hit it a little before so it doesn't catch this little glitch. But I'm going to let him explain exactly what's going on here.
So when it read 579 on the dyno, it was showing the real-time numbers that happened right here. So it did do a torque flash up to 579 pounds of torque when he first hit the throttle. But as you see here, the flash actually went higher than the torque did on that pull. So the correct torque number would be 547 pounds of torque versus 577. So I come in here and I'll smooth this out a little bit. Now with the smoothed out, this is actually a little higher than it was with the torque flash.
Yeah, there's a torque flash, guys. When he first hit it, you get that sometimes, but the numbers are 630 and 540 torque. I was talking to Daryl about, yeah, at the very end of the run, it's not uncommon to see this, but the black smoke that came out is running real rich. Now these cars actually have a cat over temp protection, and I'm gonna let Daryl explain a little bit to you about what that does. And
okay, so what happened on it is that the first run we pulled, which was on that stock Roush tune, data logged it. We did a run, and it commanded right around 0.80 lambda throughout the whole run. And that was when it came right off the trailer. It was cool. And on the second run, it wasn't quite as cool, but it commanded our target lambda throughout the RPMs up to about 6,500, and then it went into what's called cat over temp. Pretty much when the cats or O2s, or there's a couple different things that are measured, hit a certain threshold, like 1,600 degrees or 1,700, that's what triggers cat over temp, and it richened the air to fuel ratio up to about 0.72 lambda, which cost us probably 15 or so horsepower. So on this run, we're gonna let it cool down a little more and do another run, and hopefully we don't run into cat over temp and we see a little more power.
So there you go, guys. All right, guys, we're gonna get run 3 going here. And adjusting the tune a little more, so see what it's doing. Made 642 at 6,900 RPM. Okay, guys, but he had the torque. You've already adjusted that, right?
Right.
Okay. He had it set at 6,900 because when Daryl was going to do his first pass with the I started to say VMP, with the Roush tune. Sorry, guys, with the Roush tune. He was only going to do a 6,900 pull, so he set it at 6,900. So that's why we kind of held off here at 6,900. So the dyno operator did see a larger number than that, so we're letting the car cool down. The same tune is in the car. We're going to make another hit with the car cool, about 20-30 minutes cool down, and see what it really does, guys. So stay tuned. All right, guys, this is the final pull. So whatever numbers we have is what we have when we do quads. This, we had no spike. This is true numbers.
We don't know if we're good enough.
Okay, well let's go look.
Don't say that yet.
We don't want to tell the. We don't want to give false hope.
I don't want you to keep. Uh-oh, what happened? Hey, Junior, was that loud? No torque.
Spike.
No spike.
No torque spike at the very beginning. So what we have here, our torque. Horsepower has always been right every pull, but the torque after the first pull kind of threw it off a little bit. So right now we are going to see, so go back to the other screen, and then we're going to, so guys, what we have here is, with correction factor, this is SAE corrected, is 678 horsepower at 7,100 RPM, might well say almost 7,200, and 544 foot-pound of torque at 4985. So guys, that is a significant power gain. This is just with tune, guys. We didn't put any fuel additive in. We didn't change anything else up. This is from Roush through this tune. So we picked up 67 horsepower. 67 horsepower and 24 foot-pound of torque off a tune alone. That's impressive.
For sure, and if we were to switch like E85 or something, like I said, there's a limit on 93 being boosted. You can only throw so much timing at it, but if we were to go to E85 or something, there'll be a pretty good torque increase and quite a bit more horsepower.
And you actually seen some knock. We were talking about that earlier in the video. You actually seen some knock on one of the things, and you actually pulled it back so it wouldn't do it again. So guys, this is a safe tune. This is not a tune that I'm going to be scared to go out there and scared something's going to happen to the engine. This is a safe tune. But 678 horsepower and 544 foot-pound torque. Yeah, I'm ecstatic. That is, and that's on a Mustang dyno too.
Yeah, it's a Mustang dyno.
So,
like I said, track will tell us everything, but it did, like I said, from when we started to now, it's been 4 or 5 dyno pulls. It did make some good gains for being on 93 for sure.
So you're making over 490 from here, basically, till you're letting off.
We got some good gains.
As I've been asked this question, and so I've been talking to Daryl about it. On the premium cars, you have the sport and the track, you have normal, and you have snow and wet. So basically, there is some transmission. I'm gonna let him explain it to you exactly what you change whenever you change that. I know there's some transmission shifting, but there's also throttle. And what he's gonna do is he's gonna show you exactly what it does whenever you flip that switch.
So pretty much a lot of people like to claim that when they go on the sport or track that there is actually an increase in horsepower. Well, there isn't actually any increase in power. What it is for instance, when you're on your normal driving mode, you go to 50% throttle, you get 50% power output. You put it at 100%, you get 100. But when you look over here at the sport and track, you can see when you're at 38% throttle, you get 49% horsepower output. When you're at 84% throttle, you're actually getting 100% of your horsepower already. So going from 84 to 100 doesn't gain you any power. It's just that they're bringing the power in sooner with less pedal is why it makes it feel faster. And if you look down here at the snow mode, it's pretty much backwards. In snow, you know, you don't want aggressive pedal because you spin and it's just a lot harder to drive. What you see here is like, for instance, 38% pedal, you get 29% of your horsepower request. But other than that, the sport and track mode adjusts some shifting strategies, but there is not a horsepower difference between the two.
So the main reason that you're going to get quicker time between the two is the transmission where it shifts. So that's the big part of it. So guys, I hope that helped y'all understand the difference between normal, sport, and track, and then wet and snow. Try to help you out a little bit, guys. I knew I've been asked that before, and I didn't have the 100% correct answer. So I talked to the tuner, and he was able to explain it a little better. So guys, I hope y'all enjoy that information. Here, one more thing that we did want to talk about, me and Daryl was kind of talking about it, and I said, you know what, maybe we should touch on it just a little bit in the video. And that is that we only pulled the car to 7,200 RPM. And why? Is because I am still on stock oil pump gears, and we are pushing close to 700 to the wheel. And as anybody knows, that is kind of like the danger land sometimes. So, you know, we chose to shut it down at 7,200. There's no problem with that. I will be going with oil pump gears probably this winter. I'm going to install them. When that happens, we will be coming back. We will be pushing the RPM up, because on the dyno graph, when we ended at 7,200, it was still climbing. So there was room to grow. Yeah,
there's definitely horsepower left if we just want to rev it on out. But with the stock oil pump gears, it's just really not worth the extra risk revving to 76 or 7,700. Once you get them swap in there, then we'll rev it on up.
One thing that we did notice is we looked at IAT1 and IAT2. The Roush has actually got IAT1 and IAT2, and the numbers were only a 23, 24 degree difference between IAT1 and IAT2. Now IAT1, that is with the mass airflow right there by the intake filter. IAT2 is actually the temperature charge after the supercharger. So to only have a 20 degree difference, and that was under the wide open throttle pull. Yes. So that was at the peak of the wide open throttle pull. So guys, the VMP triple pass heat exchanger with fans is doing its job correctly. And another thing that we've been talking about is maybe getting about 100 octane tune in the car until I do go 85 down the road, just to give something to run at the track. But for right now, we're going to be running the 93. That's just something that might be coming later on down the road. But guys, if you enjoyed this video, before I go though, guys, this is Daryl from Wengerd Performance, Jesse from 412 Dyno Shop. They are he's located in Parsons, Tennessee. He's located in Paris, Tennessee. Guys, I will put the links, the description to everything to them down in the bottom of the video. But guys, go check them out. They've done a great job. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't, and we'll see you next time. Ended up with 300 horsepower and 381 foot-pound of torque on a EcoBoost Mustang. What all was done to the car?
It's got downpipe, cold air intake, the tune of course, and the magnet flow exhaust.
So not bad at all.
Not at all, dude.
You're good.